Daryl, thank you for taking the time today to visit with us about your capacity here, the time that you basically spent here in Corpus Christi as the district extension administrator. We wanted to go ahead and visit with you just a little bit about some of the things that occurred while you had the opportunity to be here and provide leadership to the district, to the 18 counties in District 11. However, you also were an agent in the old District 14 too. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is where you actually started your career as well. And we wanted to visit a little bit about that and the interaction that county extension agents had providing outreach leadership, outreach education to the area and within and all out of this facility here, basically being the district office. So tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your capacity here in Corpus Christi at the center, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, as you know, Donnie, I was started out as an agent in District 11. It's old District 14 at that time in Victoria County. As assistant county agent there, was there for about 4 years, 4.5 years as a assistant agent. And then after 2 years, I was actually a non-program leader. They changed that position a little bit, and I stayed there for 2 more years before I moved on to another county. Then I came back to District 11 after a little sabbatical in West Texas. I came back to Calhoun County and was agent in Calhoun County for a number of years. So I had that opportunity, but in 1997, I had that opportunity to move to a district director's job over in Uvalde, and I worked there for several years and kind of always had in my mind that kind of my dream job was to be the district director in Corpus when Lynn retired. I didn't ever know if that would be a possibility or not, but it that was kind of my long term goal was to try to maybe make it over there. But in the meantime, I got where I really liked District 11, District 10. I really loved the agents in that district. I loved the district office, everything about it. My daughter had gotten older, but when Lynn did retire, Mr. Wilson finally, when he did retire, shouldn't say finally retired, but when he retired, we, my daughter was fixing to go into high school, so it was kind of a hard time to make a move. But we obviously, apparently, they asked me to do District 11 and 10 temporarily as a interim. I served as interim district administrator in District 11 for I can't remember, probably 11 or 12 months, something like that, maybe a little longer. But I did that for a while, and then when they finally opened it up to extension, opened it up to go ahead and fill the position, uh, they gave me the opportunity to move to Corpus, and we did so. My wife and I and my family moved to Corpus, and I don't regret that one bit, because the quality of the program across the state is great. I mean, we've got good programs everywhere. We've got good district administrators. We've got good district offices everywhere. But there's something special about District 11, and I've always said this, and I'll continue to say it for probably till the day I die, is that the difference in District 11 and all the other districts and all other district offices is the people. The people, that are specialists that we had in District 11, you couldn't find a better set of them across the board. They're good specialists everywhere. I worked with James Supak, a lot of great specialists over my career. But, as a team, the District 11, the district team at Corpus is probably the best team that I've ever seen work together. They work hand in hand with agents. They work hand in hand with the research people. They truly believe in the extension and the land grant mission, and really, they don't just talk about it; they live it every day. And it's a passion for each and every one of them. And the result of that has been, attracting really good agents to District 11. I've always said this, that a lot of people came to District 11 because Roy Parker and John Brimmer and folks like and Wayne Anselka and Joe Pascal and people like that, because they wanted to work with those specialists that we had at that district office, and they recognized that that was a special team and a team that could elevate their performance and elevate them as a individual, as a being a good individual that makes a difference in the state of Texas. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all been about. I mean, I think the people in the South Bend, in the coastal Bend area, have been the biggest benefactors of that. There's been the focus of the of the of that center has always been to improve the quality of life and the economic well-being of the people in coastal Bend of Texas, and I believe that's happened. I think if you look at a lot of things that's happened in ag and natural resources and family and consumer sciences and 4-H and youth development. If you look at all three of those areas of extension, and you just can't find a better group, a more impactful program, I don't think, in the state if you take all those together. And I think that the BT cotton was first actually first tested in a field situation in that district. Very first plot that ever was put out in District 11, and thanks to Dr. Roy Parker, and then that's just a tip of the iceberg of the innovative things that's happened in terms of uh, of things in that district. The do well, be well for South Texas, the the brain trust of that was in District 11. I mean, it came from people like Lane Freeze and Rusty Horn and Rusty Holt. Now, I mean, but great people with great minds that come up with good ideas. The food challenge is another thing that
Yep.
was born in South Texas, born in Corpus, and uh, 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 Courtney Dodd, I give her a lot of credit for that, but Dr. Dodd was just one of about 4 or 5 uh, energetic, young, innovative FCS agents that recognized that we needed a new and fresh look at addressing food and nutrition in our youth program, and they came up with the idea and came up with a plan to make it happen, and it now it's one of the most popular 4-H
Contest. Yep.
events we
Yep.
have out there.
Yes.
And
Yes, sir.
that's just to name a few of the great, I think some of the things that just have happened in District 11 that have, been so impactful on the clientele that we serve. And I think that, uh, and when like I said, at the end of the day, when you boil it all down and you say, well, what's different about District 11? What's different about Corpus? I just say it's the people. The Lucas Reyeses of the world, the Juan Landavors of the world that really, embraced extension agents and, helped them push out the type of innovations that are going to make a difference, that have practical application to the producers in the coastal bend, and it's been I think that's been the difference. That's been the biggest difference in what they are, what we see, and what we have in the coastal bend in Corpus, that center. So, I was there for a number of years before I moved and then ended up going to College Station. And I, I, I just think that you look at the people that have moved on to higher administrative positions. Um, you know, uh, District 11 and Corpus Christi's kind of been the farm team for the administration in the
Mhm.
last few years. Um, you know, we've got right now in administration, you have one of the associate directors is currently was a 4-H specialist in District 11. You look
Yes,
at the
sir.
regional program directors, there's a number of them that came from the agent ranks in District 11 at In fact, at one time it was 6 A&R regional program leaders. Uh, 5 of the 6 of them had experience working in District 11.
Yes, sir.
I think that's pretty close to the same now. And the FCS side of the family consumer health side of things is almost exactly the same. Been a lot of individuals have have used you know have been able to move on to more higher leadership positions in extension, but I think every one of them would tell you the same thing. The time they spent in District 11, the time they spent in Corpus was the best time of their life.
Yes, sir.
Um, I tell people all the time that the 2 best jobs I ever had was assistant agent in Victoria County, because I could blame stuff if I did it wrong on Joe, and if I did it right, I could take credit for it. And the other one was being district administrator in Corpus. So I said those were the 2 best jobs I think I've ever had. I've had some good positions. I loved every one I've had, but those two were I had a lot of fun, had a lot of opportunities, got to work with a lot of really, really good people. And that's what makes it, and it's kind of cliche. We got somebody said something one day about, we're not family. This is family. Families are family, not this deal. But I'll tell you, it really, that the feeling you get when you go in that district office in Corpus is different in terms of it being a family, it being people that really care about the other person and care about the person as an individual, as a professional, and usually as a friend, because you generally those the kind of personality we have are people that really are the kind of people you want to have. You want to call them your friend. You want to call them people your friend, and that hasn't changed over the years. That's been the
Yes, sir.
same for many, many years. It was a culture that was established in 50 years ago, and that culture has everybody that has been in that district office has pretty well embraced that culture.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Daryl. We're celebrating people. We're celebrating the people that have been here for the 50-year anniversary, not necessarily the center. Obviously, the facility has been here and has been the hub for all the activity, but certainly the people are the individuals that we're going to celebrate.